Hello world, it's Alex the Dev. Today we will be looking through this folder of really old stuff. I found a bunch of old games while cleaning my desktop up. I have recorded this video a couple of times and it's been way too long, so I've cut this down into clips to make it more interesting. Hopefully you enjoy it. Let's get into it. But wait, before we do, it would be really awesome if you could hit that subscribe button. It would really help me out. Thank you. Let's get into the video. Alright, so this first clip is a mini game. It was built for a much larger group project. Basically we all had to create our own levels and then piece it together in a game similar to Dumb Ways to Die or Mario Party. More like Dumb Ways to Die, to be honest. Anyway, this was a hidden object game. You just move around using the arrows, search the board, looking for the objects that you can see in the bottom left. I am looking for a cog, which I have just scrolled past, and a shiny red apple, which I have just found. Everything's randomly placed, and damn, that was 5 donuts in a row. Nice. You can tell I'm a game dev. Anyway, everything's randomly placed. It's not the best of random generation. It's not the best of art either, to be honest, but it was one of my first projects in Unity, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's still kind of cool, even as it is. So let's take a look at one of the other mini games. Okay, this is inspired by Point Blank from the PlayStation 1, if any of you have ever played that. If you haven't, I will put some images on screen now. Basically, these monsters are coming over the hill, and you have to stop them from getting close to you by shooting them, and they go splat. That's pretty much the entire game. There's not much else to say about it, but I just loved the little effect, so I wanted to show you it, really. Okay, let's move on. This next one is a prototype, which is why we're directly inside Unity. It's a farming simulator, as you can kind of see. I just wanted to see if we could fall off the edge here, and apparently we can. But the point of this one is you plant your seeds, and then you have this cool little water gun thing that you can use to grow your seeds. You're supposed to be able to sell your harvest, but I never actually got that far. This was part of a 1-hour prototype. We used to make lots of little silly things like this, and I thought, I don't get much chance to show them. Why not use them now? There's not much else to see, really. It's pretty broken. So, next. And now we go from bad to worse. Don't judge me too harshly. This is a prototype. Basically, we had to create a sports game. That was pretty much the only theme. I'm not a massive fan of sports, so I just decided to create the craziest thing possible, which was a pool dodgeball hybrid with cars. That's possibly the best way to explain it. Not much actually happens in this prototype, but the fun part about this is we did actually work more on it, so let's look at that. I present to you Crazy Dodge Pool, looking a little bit better. We have vehicle selection, and you can also level up by playing more games. There's not actually that much to unlock. I think we had about 3 months to work on it. I mean, I could do a lot more with 3 months nowadays, but I was a noob, alright? Cut me some slack. This is the braking system. You have to try and pot a ghost. I think on this break I actually pot myself. If you saw in the prototype, nothing happened, but in this you actually get shredded, which is kind of cool. I think I managed to pot a red, so it orders the chaos, and then the game begins and things get crazy. So let's get right into the good stuff. I think I just potted one of my own team members there, and then there is explosions and a lot more explosions and just crazy things happening all the time. I wish I could show more of this game, but it's just a pretty long game, and I just blew up my car there, as you can see. If the game sessions were a little shorter, because I think each game lasts about 10-20 minutes currently, if it was more like the clips we've just seen, I reckon it could be a pretty fun game, but sadly it's not, and we don't have all day, so let's move on. This is the final game we will be looking at. I have sped up this first clip because we encountered a bug pretty much straight away. I could jump, but I couldn't move. I tried reinserting my controller and nothing worked, so we restarted the game and everything worked fine. Ignore the art for this game. It is not perfect, but that was not the goal. The idea was to just get used to the engine and get used to coding, so I came up with this platforming puzzle type game. I still think I did pretty well with the art. I mean, it's not perfect, we can admit that, but it still looks pretty good, apart from the character. If the character wasn't this placeholder cube type thing, it may have looked a lot better. Anyway, this is where it gets interesting. The bounce pads we saw from earlier, we can actually change what they do, and this changes the gravity, so we can move along the ceiling. The bounce pads work upside down too, which I think I am about to demonstrate. The one thing I haven't demonstrated is death. If you fall into the smoke, you die. So the objective each level is to just hit the orange switch and reach the exit, and that is that in the fastest time possible. You can collect the power-ups, which give you a bit of extra score. There is music and sound effects for this game, and I wish I could play them, but I will be honest, I am not 100% sure if they was copyright free / royalty free, so we will keep them out just in case. Again, I was a noob developer when making a lot of these games. As we can see, the theme has changed a little bit. It's now evening instead of daytime, and by that we've just changed the background colours and the cloud colours a little bit and the lighting. It looks good, it looks good. So at this point we are past the tutorial levels and things are getting a little bit more complicated. I tried making things more interesting, which I certainly did, and we will see that coming up now. I made the levels much harder and this is why it took so long. So pause, you are about to see me die a lot, you have been warned. Alright, so what have we learned from this? We have learned that Alex the Dev is not good at his own games. Alright, so there's a little bit more to look at. As you can see, we've just changed the cube green and it teleported us, which is, I think, the final feature for these little glowing cubes. I don't think I added anything else, but that wasn't. I think there was more ideas. There was a red one and a purple one, but I don't think I actually got that far for this game. This is still the most complete project that we have looked at so far, which is why the other games have been cut up into very short clips, and this one has had a couple of minutes. I think the full length for this video, just for this game, was around 10-20 minutes. So obviously I've had to cut down this a little bit, but we are on the final level now, finally. As you can see in the top right, the goal is to find 3 switches instead of the usual 1 to open the final door, which I will get to once I F about with the gravity a little bit. This level includes everything, pretty much, that was included in the game. The bounce pads, the teleporters, the gravity switches. It's a pretty big open level. There's plenty of room for error, as you just saw. And as you just saw again. But once you complete this level, that is it. You pretty much complete the game. I don't know why there is a loading screen just to congratulate you for winning. It says you have now completed every level. The next update will bring you more maps. The next update never came. And that is everything. There's still a couple of projects we haven't looked at. I mean, we have a couple of Flash games here. They are from college, even further back. Probably much worse than everything we have just seen. If you would like to see those, there could be a part 2 in the making. Like this video, let me know, and we will see. There is also another project somewhere on the darkest corner of my hard drive. It is a horror game. I will put some images on screen now. I know it's not Alex the Dev's usual game, but I used to love making them. If I can dig that out and somehow get UDK installed, I will definitely give that a play. I think it would make for an interesting video. Okay, that is everything. Thank you for making it this far. Have a good day. Peace.